Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, continuing my series on master perfumers, we're going to be covering Dominique ROPION, another master perfumer who's created hundreds of fragrances. If you are new here, then hello, welcome. I have a whole series on master perfumers as well as videos on new releases, perfume notes, ranges. Do check out my other content. And if you're a regular viewer, do make sure you're subscribed and give the video a thumbs up. That really helps me. And all the perfumes I talk about in this video will be linked down below, where you can get them all around the world. And of course you can get my fragrances, Empress, Aphrodite, and my super concentrated soy wax candles, all on my website, SokiLondon.com. Cool, so Dominique ROPION is a French perfumer. Most of the master perfumers are French, and he learnt his craft in Grasse in the south of France, where a lot of perfume schools are, where they grow a lot of roses and jasmine and ingredients and lavender for perfumes. And he actually studied with the company called Givaudan, who are a massive creator of scents, not just perfumery but household goods, you know, anything you can think of that has a smell. Givaudan has probably worked on it, and they are a company that have perfumers that are then hired by companies who are making a perfume to create the perfume for them. I believe now he works for the International Flavors and Fragrances Company, IFF, where he's worked since the year 2000. So he's created over 300 different perfumes either by himself or as part of a team, and some really iconic big ones here as well. So in the 2000s, he worked on a lot of the sort of original Burberry fragrances, Burberry London, Burberry Rhythm, Burberry The Beat. I'm not sure if these ones are still sold. I think some might be, but they were very affordable, everyday, sort of fresh floral perfumes, sort of fresh bouquet of flowers and with a citrus top note. He also created Cacharels and more. Now this fragrance has such a fond place in my heart because it was the signature perfume all the way through high school of one of my best friends. Shout out to Natasha, and she just always smelled of it, and it just immediately, whenever I smell it, I immediately think of her. The Cacharel fragrances are super affordable, and more is a really fruity, like berry, blackcurrant, oranges with like a vanilla undertone and a little bit of a floral heart in it, but it's very fruity, very fun. It lasts really well. I can be a testament to that because for years I sat next to Natasha in classrooms and everything, and she always smelled of it. And you can usually get this for like 20 something pounds. So if you do like fruity perfumes, definitely check this out. I do recommend the Cacharel Yes I Am perfumes as well. And then a huge hit in the early 2000s, he created Calvin Klein Euphoria. So this perfume is another great for lasting fragrance. It's quite woody, but it has this really feminine, like orchid, vanilla orchid note in there. Again, I've had friends that wear this and you really can smell it on them. And again, it's another one that you can usually get at a really affordable price. It's kind of feminine, but still a little bit serious. And yeah, it's very iconic, and there's been so many flanker versions of it, but I think the best is very much still the original. He has been part of a team that's worked on some fragrances for Dior. So he was part of the Dior Pure Poison team, which Pure Poison is a great jasmine fragrance. And he was also part of the team that created Dior June, which is totally different, ambery, slightly spicy, classic fragrance, very 90s. For Elie Saab, he created their Girl of Now perfume, which is a really good almondy perfume, kind of sweet, almondy. And then he also created the Forever one, which is lighter and more fruity. And then an iconic one from Escada, their Escada Sexy Graffiti. This was an early 2000s perfume, and when I worked in a perfume shop, it was around about 2012, 2013, and people used to come in and ask for this so much, and it had been discontinued, and you know, it was going on eBay. It probably still is for hundreds and hundreds of pounds. They did re-release it briefly, and it was kind of similar to original Sexy Graffiti, but basically Sexy Graffiti is like all the fruits, like raspberry, blackcurrant, strawberry, like all those berry fruits. I love those berry fragrance notes. So if you're a fan of berries, then you would have loved Sexy Graffiti, and hopefully they'll re-release it again one day. He has worked with Frederic Malle on lots of his own fragrances. I think Frederic Malle is actually not a perfumer himself. He like comes up with the concept and works with the perfumers. And Dominique, I think he's quite a good friend of Frederic Malle. He's worked on loads of his creations, including Portrait of a Lady, which I think is Frederic Malle's like hero, like best-selling fragrance. He was part of the team that worked on Armani Code, an iconic 2000s fragrance. Lots of sort of white floral jasmine notes in here, and they do still sell it. I think it's changed slightly, but it's very affordable, a great everyday fragrance, and again, known for its lasting power. Definitely Dominique has a skill for creating perfumes that last. And he's also worked closely with Anne Filippo, who I did another video on a lot of Givenchy fragrances. Irresistible Givenchy that I have here, one of my favorites. This is Fresh Rose with Pear, and the Lantidipe fragrances, which are white floral jasmine, tuberose, orange blossom neroli, really classy, beautiful fragrances, Lantidipe. And before that, he also created the Very Irresistible and the Live Irresistible fragrance, which I find them along the lines of Cacharel's Amour Amour. Again, that berry blackcurrant top note and then a rose heart. Very Irresistible. I think Very Irresistible is still sold. The Elixir version I loved, that's definitely discontinued. But yeah, definitely along the same lines as Sexy Graffiti, as Amour Amour, those berry scents. For Lancôme, he was part of the team that created La Vie est Belle, which of course is such an iconic best-selling fragrance. Lots of patchouli and praline in this one, and floral heart, but very sweet, very good for lasting again. And I think he's worked on pretty much all the different versions of La Vie est Belle that have been made, again with Anne Filippo on a lot of them. I do have videos and an article on the whole range. There are so many now, so many different versions, and they're all quite different, but he was part of that mastermind team that created this amazingly best-selling fragrance. And then another one that he's super famous for is creating Thierry Mugler's Alien. So this is a super strong jasmine fragrance, incredibly strong, amazing for lasting. I find it almost a bit like queasy when I smell it because it's so strong. Deep jasmine, it does smell kind of otherworldly, and of course is still very popular. And then he's been involved in lots of the other different versions of Alien as well. And then again, working with Anne Filippo, he created with her the Lady Million fragrances, sort of floral, some of them a bit sweet, fruity. Again, worked with her on Olympia, which is very vanilla-y. For Ralph Lauren, he's worked on some of their new releases, the Ralph Club fragrances, which I think are really nice, as well as the original Safari for her that came out in the 90s, which is definitely very discontinued. But yeah, the Ralph Club one, a very fresh, aromatic, everyday scents for men, pretty reasonably priced as well. I do like them. They come in these really big boxes as well, really nice gift. For Viktor and Rolf, he was part of the team that created Flower Bomb, another very strong patchouli floral fragrance, a little bit like La Vie est Belle, very strong, very iconic, and of course has had many flankers and versions since it came out. And then for YSL, he's worked on a lot of their male fragrances, their Homme fragrance, as well as the new Y fragrances. Again, they're very everyday, like nice gifts and pretty inoffensive, male, sort of fresh, slightly aromatic, everyday scents. So for Dominique, I definitely see a trend around like these fruity fragrances that really last, and of course lots of iconic fragrances, and he's worked with, I think, pretty much all the big like perfumers out there, so definitely one of the big master perfumer names. Let me know what your favorite creation is from him. Let me know in the comments. I do read all your comments, and as always, links in the description to all the perfumes I've mentioned. But that's it, guys, so thanks so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.